Welcome, Queen. The power of assumptions. Have you ever thought you had someone or something all figured out, but then after you formed an opinion, you realize you were incorrect? Well, that's what happened to me as I was watching the movie Love and Life. And it got me to thinking about the power of assumptions. And that's why today I'm sharing with you how sometimes we can disregard the impact of assumptions and how they impact and affect others in our lives. And one powerful yet non negotiable essential to sustain a successful relationship, even if it's not a romantic one. But if it is a romantic one, don't forget, I have the Rate Your Date tool. That's right, the ultimate Rate Your Date tool in the description link below. Now, if you're like me, you've come across a lot of people in your life. And so you're pretty good with picking up cues from other people. And this movie, Love and Life, it showed me this one powerful relational key to maintain success. So, what is it? Intentional, authentic, transparent communication. Yep. There were three friends, and these three friends had different walks of life. One was married, and she thought her husband, oh, she thought he was fooling around because he kept on turning down the good. Yeah, he didn't want no red light special, and she couldn't understand it. And her friends assumed he was cheating as well because they kept seeing him with this particular person around town. And they couldn't understand why the energy was the way that it was. And that's why it's best to avoid even the appearance of wrongdoing. Yeah, because although we may not realize it, it can lead to unnecessary stress. And most times we have enough stress with our day-to-day life. We don't need any extra that's going to hurt us or impact those in our lives in a negative way. And because it can lead to our spouse thinking that, hey, we have poor character when they're not around. And then there was the single one. Yes, now the single one, she was dating. But she too thought her boyfriend was messing around, child. Yes, she thought because he was MIA and not picking up that phone, that he was doing something he had no business. And guess what? That was not the case. But still, she thought this. And it didn't help when she went to his social media accounts and was looking around, snooping, stalking him. You know what I'm talking about. And on his feed, there was an image of a pregnant woman. And you may be saying, well, who is she? Well, who are these women if they were not cheating with these women? I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. I'm going to let you see that on your own, just in case you too want to go and check it out. Now, there was also a widow. That's right. She lost her husband. And baby, when that movie came on, she was in full breakdown mode. I mean, crying in the room with the lights out. And I was thinking to myself, she needs someone to lean on. Seriously, she is distraught. And while I thought to myself that she was going to be the one that really needed the help, that really needed a support system, which she did because she was going through a trying time, she ended up being the one that held the other two together in spite of her grief. Yeah, she ended up being the strongest one. And so that's why I'm telling you, or I'm sharing with you rather, that intentional, authentic communication is important. Because see, when you have intentional, authentic communication, you come focused, willing, ready, able to discuss issues, concerns, or fears that you may have without yelling, screaming, fussing, or assuming. You allow your partner to be able to come to the table and explain themselves. You allow the person that you may be doing business with to address the concern you've brought to them without interrupting, without projecting, without objecting. And so this helps create a foundation for you to build on That helps you to sustain a successful relationship. But you can't do this if you do not have, or if you lack, emotional and relational development. Now, if you would like to work with me one on one, if you have your own specific communication challenges in your relationships, feel free to do so. You can schedule a discovery call, and the link to do that is also in the description below. And that way we can see if we're a good fit. Because here's the thing: while our senses and intuition are great tools that help us navigate life and understand others, there are times when, without intentional, authentic, transparent communication, we can ruin healthy relationships, cause ourselves unnecessary stress, and initiate self-sabotaging behavior that causes our lives to fall apart, which prevents us from having the quality of life we deserve. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.